So today we're going to talk about how to own real estate with your IRA. So when I say IRA, this can be if you're self-employed, you have a SEP IRA or a simple IRA. This is really any type of IRA, how you can own real estate with your IRA, and how you can even use an old 401k and convert it to an IRA completely tax-free without any penalties and use it to purchase real estate. There's something you should understand is you may be with a stockbroker or a broker in general, and they may tell you, hey, you can't own real estate with their IRA. Now, the truth of it is you can't own real estate with them with your IRA, but you can absolutely own real estate with an IRA. Most companies just restrict the ability to invest in real estate. They kind of are dictating what it is they want you to use. And as I've been a financial advisor for 12 years, I tell you, I have been everywhere, just about seen everything. And there are companies, they want you to keep your money with them because they make their money off of obviously having you in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And so they're always quick to tell you that you can't do it. Now, a little bit of history. An IRA, first of all, is not an actual investment. It's just a tax structure. So when you own real estate, you're maintaining the same tax structure that you've always had. The only thing that we're doing is we're saying, I want to take these stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and move them out of my IRA, and I want to put real estate in their place. So the only thing you're changing is the investment in the IRA. So think of an IRA as an umbrella, okay? And the umbrella shields you from taxes. So all you're doing is you're saying remove the mutual funds, put in the real estate, but the umbrella and the structure stays the exact same. And that's whether you use a 401k or an IRA. So we'll kind of talk about that. The first step, if you're going to use an IRA, is you need to make sure that you move the IRA to a self-directed custodian. So this is a custodian that will allow you to basically invest in what you decide you want to invest in. Okay, so in real estate, you'll want to move it to a self-directed custodian that will allow for this. There's lots of them out there. Be happy to give you a recommendation. We work with some that we think are great and really understand what a self-directed IRA is. If you have an old 401k, what you're going to do is you're just going to do a rollover. So you'll move the 401k and you'll convert it into an IRA, and there are no tax penalties or anything because they're in a 401k and an IRA are basically the same type of tax structure. The difference being in a 401k, the IRS looks at that money and says, okay, that money in that plan is part of a group plan. When it's over here in an IRA, they look and say that money is part of an individual plan, which is what the I in IRA stands for, okay? Individual retirement account, okay? So first thing you need to do if you're going to purchase real estate in an IRA is move it to a self-directed custodian, number one, okay? Number two here is you need to decide what it is that you're going to buy, okay? So you're going to purchase a single family home, multi-family home. Is there going to be a partnership involved? You really need to identify the asset that you're going to purchase second, okay? So again, single family, multi-family, duplexes, whatever it is that you're going to do, identify that, okay? The next thing is you'll want to set up an LLC in the name of the IRA, okay? So the thing is, the IRA is going to, well, the LLC rather, is going to have the money from the IRA deposited into it, and then the LLC will own the real estate. Now, the reason we do this is because it gives you complete checkbook control over your IRA. So you can just, with a stroke of a pen, purchase the real estate. You can wire money over to the title company and close on the real estate, but you can, again, being it's an LLC, have a partnership with other people. So maybe you have $50,000 in your IRA and your spouse has $100,000 in their IRA, and you both fund the LLC. You both fund the LLC. Your individual IRAs are members of that LLC, and now you go purchase this investment property together. Okay, so you can do that. Gives you complete checkbook control. The other reason I like it is, especially as you're having your property managed, because you can't manage the investment property with an IRA, okay, and we'll talk about that, is most property management companies, if it's an IRA, will only disperse your rent out to you on a quarterly basis because they have to cut a check and send it to the custodian. Well, what happens now is they don't have to cut that check and send it to the custodian. They're just going to put directly deposit your rent into your LLC. So it's no different for them. So that's a big, big plus. You can, basically what that means is receive your rent on a monthly basis instead of a quarterly basis, which obviously is a great thing for you. Let's talk about cost. So it should cost you no more than $1,500 if you kind of have a complicated situation, meaning you're going to purchase multiple properties. So you need some different language put in there by the attorneys, or as little as $500 to get your IRA set up with all the language, the ERISA language, and everything that it needs to have for it to be an LLC holding your IRA. So really what you're going to do is you'll take your IRA money, will go into your LLC, and then that LLC will purchase the investment property. Okay, that's really all there is to it in terms of how that works. Now, the other great thing about owning real estate in an IRA is a couple of things. Rents are categorized as gain, not as a contribution. So let me give you an example. Let's say you purchase a piece of property for $100,000, and that's producing $10,000 a year in net revenue back to the IRA. That $10,000 is coming back to you by way of rent. Well, that $10,000 that's coming in as rent, that's gain. So if you want to still contribute, $5,500 or $6,500 a year, depending on your age, you can do that. And that $10,000 that comes back into your IRA, again, is categorized as gain, not as a contribution. So there's a lot of power there. Okay. The other thing that happens is you want to fund your IRA to maybe purchase additional real estate. So if you have a SEP IRA, you can fund up to $54,000 a year into your SEP IRA, depending on kind of where your income's at. But now you can turn around, you get a deduction, you get a tax break on the front end for that, and then you get to go purchase the real estate, and it's all tax deferred. And you not only get, again, a tax break on the front end, but now your IRA is holding a cash flow positive asset. Okay, so again, the thing that's most important as you're looking to purchase real estate with your IRA is, what's my cash flow? What's my return? And typically, a great property, you'll net 9 to 10% every single year after expenses, like clockwork. So that's something to kind of keep an eye out for. Now let's talk about some things that what we would consider prohibited transactions or prohibited activities while owning real estate. And this is by means not an all comprehensive list. There are a lot of other things. I just want to give you kind of a couple that are big ones. Can't be any sweat equity in the property if your IRA owns it. Meaning you can't go out and work on it. You can't do the rehab yourself, okay? You can't be the realtor when you go purchase the home. And you can't live in it. You can't have, most of the time, there's a lot of restrictions on if you have a relative, they can't live in it. So you can't just take your IRA, go purchase necessarily a vacation home, and then live in it half of the year, okay? So anyway, so again, this is not an all-encompassing list. There are some things that you want to make sure you understand before you purchase the property, and we'd be happy to kind of go over what some of those prohibited transactions are. These are some of the main ones we see. A lot of people, they want to purchase the property, then do the rehab. You can't manage the property yourself, so you'll have to have it managed by a property management company. So all of that has to be taken care of for you. So the biggest thing is consult with your CPA. Consult with an attorney that specializes in real estate. Okay, these are things that you want to make sure that you understand before you take that step and purchase real estate. But bottom line is, as you're talking to family, friends, maybe your current financial advisor, and they're trying to tell you that you can't use your IRA to purchase real estate, they don't know what they're talking about, because you've been able to actually do this since the inception of the IRA in the late 70s. It's just a matter of, if your money is with a company that doesn't allow for it, it's just their restriction, not yours. And by the way, when you move your money to a self-directed custodian, some of them will try and tell you that you can't set up an LLC to have checkbook control. You absolutely can. There's some things you want to make sure you do, but that's just a restriction that they impose, and I would go find you a new self-directed custodian, because having checkbook control and having rents come in every single month and some of those things is absolutely a big deal, and it's a feature that you want to make sure that you have as you're doing your real estate. So, anyways, we believe in the power of real estate. I've been an advisor for over 12 years, and there is nothing like creating some predictable retirement income like real estate provides. Okay, you have the income coming in, you have the appreciation, and the thing I love about real estate that you don't get from the stock market is if your stocks, bonds, mutual fund portfolio is down for the year, okay, it's kind of hard to look at that and say, well, why is it down? Well, everything's down. But it's one thing for it to be down, and it's another thing to say, well, how can I fix it? And most of the time it's, well, you can't do anything about it. In real estate, you can. See, the only reason you don't get a return is because you don't have somebody in the property that's paying you rent. And at least now you can identify what it is that you need to change so you can get back into a cash flow positive situation. So anyways, this is the power of owning real estate in your IRA. Any questions, reach out to us. Love to be a resource for you, and let us know.